Everyone, it's Donald. So I just want to give you guys all a heads up that our hoses fix people's machines. It's crazy, crazy idea, right? That a JIC fitted hose on a JIC fitting that is properly made fixes vacuum leaks and airs. So that being said, we've heard a rumor around town that Harvest Right has been asking people when they contact them what hose or manufacturer they're using for the hose, right? They're trying to obviously figure out, well, they know people are buying our hoses. But I think what they're trying to do is really cancel your guys' warranties for using a aftermarket hose, which is the biggest BS. But however, it's Harvest Right, and they're going to do anything they can to try making us fix machines seem like a bad deal. I don't know what it is, but Dan Novell and his company is all over the place with this. I don't know why. I even sent him a text message the other day because I don't know why they're fighting us on getting their machines fixed. To me, it seems like they're trying to make extra money off of selling extra parts. I don't know what it is, because once we have the Felix fix done, once people have the correct hose, we seem not to have a lot of vacuum problems. It's a weird concept. We fix machines. So if they ask you where your hose is from, you could tell them it's from us. You could tell them you had it made locally. You could tell them, I don't have to tell you the damn answer. I mean, it's really up to you guys. But at the end of the day, we fix machines. It's crazy concept. I'm not sure. It actually amuses me somewhat why Harvest Right is so anti-Donald and Donald getting machines up and running. It's a crazy thing. When I wrote Dan, I told him, hey, I will never recommend a Harvest Right machine to a single person until you guys fix your company and the way you send out machines. Once they do those things, which is what I've been asking for many, many, many months now, once they do those, I probably would recommend a Harvest Right machine. Once they fix their stuff and do the Felix fix like they should and make sure they get good hoses, I've offered to sell them hoses, but obviously they don't want to buy from a third party. And, you know, I have good hoses, but hey, it is what it is. So just want to give you guys a heads up that you guys, when you call, if you bought a hose from us that's an updated hose, they might ask you. That being said, when we talk about hoses, not all hoses are made the same. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So somebody, and it's been multiple people recently, have done the Felix fix, but they don't replace the drain valve, they don't fix a hose, or they buy a hose from somewhere else. So here's the deal. If you're buying a hose on eBay for 25, 40 bucks, it's probably the wrong hose. I'm telling you right now. The hoses are expensive to make. So they probably have the wrong JIC fitting. They're probably not high quality, and you're probably not getting the same customer service that you're gonna get from fixmyfd.com. So here's how it works, right? If I get that hose made locally, it's $185. That's just it. It's 185 bucks. Then I would have to ship it to you and all that type of stuff, which obviously adds on to more of the cost and everything else. And because I live in Alaska, it takes longer to get all the parts and everything to make the hose. If I was to make hoses, I'd have to go out and spend $5,000, $6,000 on items to make hoses, and then make the hoses, spend a lot of time making hoses, testing those hoses, everything else that I would have to do to make sure I even know what I'm doing, along with all the other jobs that I do. So as most of you know, I'm military. My wife and I do DoorDash. We do Instacart. We run this website, and we also ship all your guys' orders as best as we can. And we test all these things before they ship out. So how I have time in the day, not sure, especially when I have 2 kids, but we're making it work. So these hoses are expensive to make. If you have a problem with, oh, by the way, we now include these, which are, I think they're like $5, $6 each at least. I'd have to really look. But these are your gaskets for your hose. We include these, okay? Nobody else is going to include this. And we didn't change our prices when we actually started including these. So when people have issues, what do? If they didn't have these, we send them, because we've seen that some people, because of the bad hose they got, their hose vibrates and it causes issues within the JIC fitting that's on the Harvest Right machine. And that's why we have these gaskets. But if you believe you have a problem with your hose, I will ship you out a new hose, just like I've done to a few people now. And I will send you, and before we weren't doing this, but I think it's the right thing to do, I will send you a printed label to print out, and then you can ship me that old hose back. Okay, the old hoses are expensive, and I want to make sure that if it does work, that it gets resold, obviously, or I ship it back to the manufacturer and say, hey, you sent me a defective hose to a customer. That being said, out of the hoses I returned back to here to be tested, 0 actually were defective. So that means that something is defective within the machine, and most of the time the belief is because of the bad hoses that are being sent out by a manufacturer. They vibrate, get loose, and all that type of stuff, and they cause issues within this 37-degree JIC fitting, and in turn the hose doesn't fit on here correctly. So that's what we think is truly wrong. So when you get the fitted hose from us, the custom hose, put it on, hand tighten all the way, take a wrench and wrench it on, okay? I know at one time we were telling people, hey, only do a quarter of a turn. However, I've wrenched the heck out of this thing, and I can't get it to leak that way. So I think if there's a damage maybe to this 37-degree, we might see an issue. But once we have the flare fitting that goes on, the flare tight, so it pushes on just like this and it creates that gasket. This is now made out of metal, and it should create that better fitting on here as well to prevent any leaks from happening. So that's the thought process behind getting that flare fitting on. But that's where we're at with hoses and all that type of stuff. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you're buying a cheap hose, please be careful. I don't want you guys wasting money to turn around and have to rebuy from us. I've seen it too many times already. If your hose doesn't work from us, we will fix it. Okay? I've tried my best to just be plain honest with you guys. We will fix it, okay? I'm not going anywhere. I'm not stopping to fix stuff or anything like that. So there's been a tremendous amount of support and everything that we've seen on fixmyfd.com, that we want to make sure that we're there when you guys have issues with your machines. So that being said, we've seen a lot less people coming over here, but I think a lot of it has to do with we're fixing machines and you guys aren't needing as much help. So make sure you guys tell your friends about us. If you guys see people with problems of their machine, send them over to our website, please. All the YouTube videos are linked in there. The parts are right there. I have 90 degrees elbows back in stock. These are going to be obviously on quantity just like we were doing before. I'm going to probably adjust the website a little bit so I can make sure that quantity is accurate and figure out how we can still give that $10 off discount for the 90 that we do when people buy them in a bundle. And I don't even have this singly, so I do need to get that listed singly. And so that's kind of where we're at. So thank you guys for all your support, everything like that. I'm going to try cutting this video short. I know I normally get rambling, and I've already probably been doing it. So you guys take care. Have a good night, and thanks so much for all your support. Have a good one.